Is there any reason behind that? Like, where did that come from?
So I'm big into like Russian techno, and there was this band called like they have these weird spellings where they replace the A's with triangles and stuff. Their band names, they use a lot of 808s. And
Okay.
Anyway, there was this band like song called Air Shade, and I was like, that's cool.
Air Shade. All right. So you stole it, is what you're saying.
Just the song, just the song name.
Dudes, we're going, man. We're recording right now. So what's up, everybody? This is the Structurally Sound Questionable Content Podcast. I'm Matt Greenlee, and I'm sitting here in the room with Tyler Watson, Chris Stratch.
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
I don't know.
I appreciate you not butchering it there.
Yeah.
It's not Scratch, it's Stratch.
That's been kind of the thing, is like, if I don't know the name, I bring him in, and I'm like, how do you say which one is it?
Well, I appreciate that rather than you just try, just a half try.
I had From Ash to Stone on my last podcast, I think, and their guitar player's last name is, I literally can't even pronounce it right now. He said it to me, and I was just like, there's no way, dude. I can't even. I'm just gonna call you Jeremy. That's just gonna be it, you know.
Oh yeah.
And his last it's like Progroveski or something. Like it's crazy, dude.
Sounds Polish.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
Like I can think of it, but I can't say it.
And anyways, and this is Garrett Sharpnack, right? Sharpnack.
Sharpnack is
Sharpnack.
Another weird ass one.
Okay, yeah. It's easier to. I wasn't sure on Chris's because it's
it's
with the TCH combination. There's like it could be any
right?
amount
Too many
of
consonants.
things. Yeah. These dudes are in the local band, Triangulum Peace. Ooh. And you guys just played a show last night, actually, at the Bourgeois Pig.
Yep.
At the Burgioriosa Pig, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I can't even say the dang name.
I'm pretty sure it's Bourgeois Pig. I've been talking about it for like a few on my last few podcasts. I think that's what it is.
How do you say it?
I say bourgeois because there's an R in there.
Bourgeois?
I took a little French.
Oh, okay.
I'm not fluent, but
I took French in 7th grade, and that shit's been gone for a decade now.
I took it one semester.
Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah, I took it in 7th. I think I took it in 8th grade, like the first half of 8th grade, and then by the second, I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to do this. But yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
So yeah, where did the name Triangulum Peace? How do you guys come up with that?
Well, actually, when I first started, this was before any of these two guys. I started it up with one of my buddies, Logan Hildebrand, and we used to go to Metro all the time, the both of us, and we didn't even have a drummer at the time, so I would just play guitar, he would play bass, and then we'd plug in electronic drums.
Oh, okay.
So
like program drums?
That's kind of how we started, and like I look back on it, and it's like, it's kind of cringy, but at the same time, those are just like the trials and tribulations.
Oh yeah, man.
You have to go through
to absolutely.
For people to believe in you and be like, dude, I gotta join this. Like, we're gonna make this.
Yeah.
And then I think it was about January.
Yeah, this is like our year anniversary of me joining January.
Oh, I was gonna say like this last January. Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, nice, dude.
A year ago or so.
And then we got him to come in, and I was like, hey, dude, Logan can't. We were gonna go up and play Wyoming Woodstock, and he had to kind of back out, and I was like, dude, we need some help. Like, you gotta hop in, and he's stuck around.
Came in and did it, huh?
Yeah.
I saw you playing bass. You filled in for a show with North Grant, didn't you, up at Staggers?
Yep, I sure did.
Yeah, dude. That was the same night. Dude, that was the same night that speaker fell on that dude's head. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Why would they put it on a table right behind him?
Man, I mean, I get it. I get it in theory because you want the sound to be high up. I get that. But if you're gonna put it up there, you gotta like secure it. You know, you gotta like secure it to the wall, dude. You guys weren't there. This like they had out in the garage. You saw my PA speakers, those custom 212s or 215s. They had one of those. So they had like a bar table, like a good sized little bar table, probably like this big, and then they had another one stacked on top of it. So and they just had like the little cross legs on the bottom, right? So it was like big wide table, little tiny cross legs on the bottom, and they had another one stacked on top of it, and then they had the 215 horizontal on top of the second table.
PU.
So like above the drum set. Dude, and what band was it? What band was playing when that happened? I can't remember.
It was I think it was Electric Fang.
Was it Electric Fang? I was just gonna say that's the flyer for it right there. that's the show that it happened at. But it was one of those two bands. I can't remember which one. But yeah, they were playing. They're right in the middle of the song, and all of a sudden you look up and the speaker just comes down on the drummer, like slid off the table and came down right on the drummer's head, like. Bro, and dude, he champed, like he kept playing, and it was all like, and everyone rushed in and like picked it up off of him and shit. And he champed through it, and
you gotta.
At the end, it was funny because he was wearing a hat, and at the end of the song, you could see him like he pulled his hat off and was just feeling like, "Oh, am I bleeding?"
Is there a bump yet?
I don't. It was a few weeks ago, so probably, yeah. He probably had a bump when it happened, definitely.
Gravity.
But yeah, he champed it out and played the rest of the set. I don't know.
That's good.
I don't know what happened after that, but dude, that was fucking crazy.
It
But
was.
anyways, yeah, that was a gnarly. That was a cool night, regardless. But dude, Blake has. You guys know Blake Kite, right? He's the one that's kind of doing. He's in.
I think so, yeah.
Shit, what band is he in now? I'm gonna fucking forget it. God damn it. Advise Against? Is he playing Advise Against? I think he does.
I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But he's the one that's doing all the he's the one that's doing all the sound. He's like starting to run a sound for a lot of shows around town and
That's
stuff. He's
good.
buying up a lot of gear. He's got a lot of speakers now, man. It's kind of wild. Like that show at Staggers, dude. He had speakers everywhere. I was
For
like,
real.
fuck, man, that's cool.
You always gotta have people to run sound, man.
That's what it takes, really. Like that's been a big thing. I noticed too. Like I get on Facebook and you go to the marketplace and like the second a PA comes up for grabs, you see like all these kids from bands that are posting like how much for the PA, how much for
That's
the
how
PA.
we got ours.
That's kind of how we acquired ours. Like I bit the bullet and bought an actual mixer, like the bigger version of this
Yeah.
one. But everything else was acquired through like Reverb or like
Yeah.
Facebook. You know, someone you get on there and someone's like selling this, and you're like, I want that, I need
Yeah.
that, I
It's a
need
good
that
business.
thing.
I mainly like the one we used for that the show we just did, just because it's smaller. You didn't spend a whole lot of money on it, and like most places we ever play, they usually have PA.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and that's kind of a new thing that's been happening. Venues didn't used to have house PAs. It used to be like if you want to play here, you bring everything. And play
Right.
here, you know.
Yeah.
Was the bourgeois? I don't know which way
Yeah,
the
just
correct
call it
pronounce
the
it.
pig place.
Okay. Yeah.
The big
Winky.
place.
Does the pig have a house PA? Or was that was
No,
your guys'
that
that
was
you were
ours.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a little crate PA, huh?
Yeah,
Dude.
it's really nice.
To be honest, man, like for as small as that thing is, it was putting out some sound.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
yeah.
gotta kind of like learn how to like wrestle with it a little bit,
Yeah.
just to like kind of figure out your levels and stuff. But
For
yeah,
sure,
it's,
dude, for sure.
It's
I mean,
it's pretty
It
decent.
works. Are they little powered speakers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
they
cool.
just plug in and then you just run the cords into the board and
Yeah, that's pretty sick, dude.
yeah.
I've been looking at getting powered speakers, man, because hauling around equipment it just sucks more and more every year, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time and it's pretty
It
costly.
takes muscle,
too.
and
Yeah.
when you fall, you really fucking fall. You know, like
Oh,
shit's
yeah.
heavy, dude, and like you get older and fucking drop a cab on your ankle, dude, and like you might not be playing the show after that. You know,
Yeah.
like it sucks, dude.
We need some
And-
roadies.
And the fact, yeah, we need roadies. Hey, if anyone out there is looking for roadie jobs, we need them.
Yeah, we definitely need them, man.
We'll pay in beer and cigarettes.
Yeah, me and is it Keegan? Last night that was there, the
Yeah.
shorter dude
Yeah.
with the gauges. Yeah,
Yeah,
Keegan.
yeah, yeah.
We were talking about it while we were helping load out gear. We were talking about it, and we were like, dude, let's just start a moving company, but just for bands' gear. Like,
I know.
so you come in, you move their equipment for them, you move it back, and then they pay you a fee for it, and they don't have to worry about anything.
That would be
Dude,
stellar.
I was like, there's not a company that does that. Well, I mean, not here. There might be in like.
There's
fucking-
like sound
Well, they're
stages and
just-
stuff, but
You know.
Yeah, but
not
that's more
other
for
places.
like I'm talking like
Well,
an
well,
Uber
real-
for your gear,
yeah,
basically.
like an actual.
that'd be
company.
dope.
Yeah, like a gear Uber. Goober?
music-
Probably
Call
just
it
hire
Goober?
people on- Probably just hire people on Facebook to do that.
Yeah.
Moober.
Yeah, Uber. Yeah, dude. So we talked about that, but yeah, and especially now, like as stuff gets more, the digital stuff gets better and better, you know, and it's so much smaller. You can run these Kempers and these digital effect pedals and stuff like that just run right into the front of house.
Yep.
And all you bring in is just this little, boop, just this little thing, and makes sound that's like bigger than any amp could make. And
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on digital equipment, man? How do you guys feel about that? Because I notice you in particular, like you play some pretty vintage. Well, I don't know if it's actually vintage, but like stylistically,
Or
your 212, that Tweed 212.
oh yeah, my amp.
Yeah.
Well, I just like my thing is when I'm running pedals is I want the cleanest sounding amp because I want just the authentication of just like the sound coming through the board and just kind of that. But I just really like the sound of the Fender amps because I've messed with the Marshalls before and
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge fan and I really don't like playing on stacks either. I just like using my combo because
Yeah.
it's a glass tube. So I mean,
Oh, okay.
even last night you heard it when it
It's-
gets hot, it cooks, man.
Yeah, it really does. It
Yeah.
really does. You're right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've been actually looking at downgrading. I still want to play a stack, but I want to downgrade to a 212 like stack. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to get rid of my 412 because they're making 212s now that are like, and you can even get like the 212 like 3/4 size cabs.
Yeah.
That are not the full 412, but they're like
Yeah.
you know, and there's just like 212s that are offset in there.
Yeah.
And those are, I mean, dude, for anything that we're doing, like we're not playing anything that requires. I mean, even now, you know, in any venue that we play, my volume is barely barely touched.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing, but like at places like there, they never. I mean, if we really wanted to like mic amps and stuff, we could do it. But like in a smaller place as that,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you don't really use mics to blare the place out. It's just kind of for a cleaner sound.
It's for
through
clarity.
the PA and stuff.
Yeah, to mix with the vocals that are coming out of the mains. And
That's
stuff,
that's
you know?
one of the things I do like about playing when we play at the airport is like miking everything because it
Yeah.
just sounds a little nicer.
Yeah, and you can kind of EQ the sound coming out
Oh,
of
yeah.
the speakers and
Mhm.
stuff. That's a little bit nicer too, for
Yeah.
sure. Always nice to do that, but it's funny because whenever like when Records is playing a show and we get that opportunity where we have monitors and stuff on the stage,
Yeah.
it's funny. Typically, it's usually like Brad Lofton or somebody like that. Shout outs, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
a cool
kid,
dude.
he's good,
He's a
man.
cool
He's
dude.
good. But he'll come up and he's like, "Hey, what do you need in your monitor?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We don't use these ever. I don't even know what is this? What is this
Yeah.
speaker in front of me?"
Yeah.
You can he'll push your guitar through it and push your vocals. I'm like, dude, that's so fucking cool, you know?
Mhm.
You get Lane's
For
kick
real.
drum and my guitar and a little bit of Brandon's bass in there and then just my vocals over the top. It's just the song coming out of the speaker. It's pretty cool,
boom.
man.
It's a lot cleaner. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
So it's really nice when that does happen, but we're so used to it not happening that like we've just kind of
Yeah, like it just depends. It doesn't really bother me. 'Cause
Yeah.
like I said, like that Fender Blues Deluxe reissue. I mean, that 40 watt can push. It definitely can push.
I heard it last night, yeah. Like you said, it's really like it's got that typical like that iconic, I should say, that Fender clean, man. It just
Yeah.
you can just really tell, especially like because you guys do kind of like the surf rock kind of sounding reggae-ish border. I don't know. I'm not trying to insult.
No,
anybody.
no. I don't even know what to call ourselves half the time, but after I was playing it, yeah.
Yeah, like with the chords and stuff that you play, that amp suits the genre
Yeah.
really well.
The smoother
for sure.
and better sounding, the better.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure. Well, when it comes to like, I mean, when it needs to be dirty, like I always say, like you can do that with pedals, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And
There's
I got-
always effects you can
Oh,
put on
yeah.
there. Definitely. I run the clean channel on my crate, that Blue Voodoo that's out there. I run the clean
Mhm.
channel on that one, and it's really nice. And then for crunch, I use a distortion pedal, so
Yeah.
it works just fine. So
I mean, it kind of opened my taste even from like a year ago, just to like using my pedals and just learning to use them because like I feel like for a while I got stuck in that gap of everything I'm playing just sounds the exact same because I'm
Yeah.
not changing the sound,
yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
and it gets like it can get boring.
It
Like,
can.
Like even from when we played this show last night to like even like 3 months ago, like I just see this immense difference of energy because we're learning to build it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just kind of
And I was gonna mention that like seeing you guys like I listened to your stuff on Spotify
Mhm.
and the few tracks that you had on there.
Yeah.
And it's just always a different experience seeing you guys like seeing a band live than it is
Yeah.
listening to them
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on a track. You know, like
Yeah.
it sounded really good last night. Like everything
Yeah.
was full and like it was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was cool to see.
for
Like
sure.
A fun venue.
Yeah.
A lot of people have always said that about us. They're just like, I think mainly like the best experience about you guys is just seeing you because
Yeah.
we can just see it come to life.
it was cool.
I agree.
It was cool, and I did get some footage of you guys too. So I
Yeah.
can get one of you guys' emails or something like that, and just
Sick.
Oh, for sure.
send
Sounds
those
great.
videos to you. So.
Sweet.
I got video of you guys. I got video of Poetry No Pros, and I caught like just one of the tail end of Chase's song.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that kid is a fucking monster, man.
Dude, I have so much respect for him because before Tyler was in, it was just me, Garrett, and Logan, and we would we played Metro as our like first show as a full band. You know?
Yeah.
We had him open up for us because I just love to bring him out all the time because he's so talented.
Dude, he's so good, man.
Always a
He's
pleasure.
so good, and like
man.
I was talking about it last night. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was telling someone last night. He's that kid that like he when he goes to do something, he goes like all in at it and doesn't stop doing it until he's like pretty good at
And he
it.
doesn't care what people
Yeah.
say or do. And that's,
Wasn't very good at drums, and he's like, "Well, I'm buying an electronic drum set." And then like 2 months later, he's like doing blast beats and stuff on it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, that is so cool."
Yeah.
100%.
And like listening to his stuff on Spotify is, whew,
Oh
man.
like
Yeah.
I love Drive.
Drive is
That's my
so good, dude. It's a
Yeah.
great song, man.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Colton too, because he did all the work on that one, man.
Oh, you don't say?
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's
Yeah,
dope.
he did all that, and I think Alex Webster played drums on it. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Alex was drumming for him, and man, it was.
That kid is a monster, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Alex is so good at drums, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like him, Josh Wingrove, man. Like these,
Yeah.
some of these kids that are coming out. I'm like, damn, dude, good. That's so cool. It's so cool to see, dude. I love seeing like, and I don't even know how old Josh Wingrove is.
Josh is 23.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
23.
All right. Yeah, and dude, he's just out there ripping. That their cover last night of Wipeout.
Oh yeah.
Dude, man, he's just.
I was telling him, I was like, dude, we should do Hawaii 5-0.
Ooh.
That would be so sweet.
Was that on your set list for the DJing last night for intermission and stuff?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
I
nice.
put it on there. I was like, dude, this would sound so sick.
Nice.
It's like
For
a
sure,
full
dude.
band. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Garrett, how long have you been playing drums?
So I started off on bass actually when I was 14, and then I had this buddy named Dylan who had a really nice Pearl kit that he sold me when I was like 16 or 15.
Okay.
And excuse me, and he ended up just like teaching me a thing or two. We were both big Doors, John Densmore fans.
Nice,
from
dude.
the Doors, and he has this kind of jazzy rock style, and I kind of picked up on that when I was like 15, 16, and I just enjoyed jamming in my parents' basement. And really, I had a few Peisty cymbals, and
Yeah.
just picked up on it, and hopefully got better over time. I think drumming's something that comes very naturally, hopefully for someone if they really enjoy it. But if
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
enjoy it, it'll be pumped out. It'll
Sure.
be cool.
Yeah, especially like if you enjoy doing it, and it'll just the more like I think it goes hand in hand with like if you enjoy doing it, it kind of comes naturally a little bit easier because you want to do it. You have an aspiration to like learn and get better at it. You don't get discouraged when you can't do something. You're like, oh no, okay, now I need to practice this so I get better at it and I can do it, right?
Sheer energy.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Dude,
That's
being
cool.
a musician is just hard in general.
Dude, yeah.
Especially in the Midwest, like here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, I always tell people all the time, I'm just like, don't give up, man.
Yeah, for
I was
sure.
like, the second you give up, something could,
Yep.
just
You never know.
change your life.
And
you
that's
know?
I've talked about it a few times on here, but that's kind of one of my philosophies about living in a place that's not overly popular for music. I think it's kind of a double-edged sword because it's bad, yes, because there's not a lot of popularity out here, but on the same note, it's good because there's not a lot of popularity out here. So when something good does come out of here, it's more liable to get recognized because when somebody does notice it, they're like, "Where are these guys from?"
Yeah.
Casper, Wyoming. What the hell is that? Like,
Yep.
where is that?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it kind
yeah.
of makes it kind of like it's not like they're not a typical band out of L.A. Like the rest of them. They're
Yeah.
not from Seattle, Washington, where there's Portland. All those places where there's 300,000 bands coming out with different songs every single day. So.
Well, I always
Yeah.
have the philosophy of, okay, there's millions of other people trying to do what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I got to be 10 times better than that to make it. That's
10
kind of what keeps me.
You got to
going.
be a billion times what those people
Yeah,
are, man.
I
It's
got to
crazy.
I got to do even more than what they do, just
Yeah.
because it's a I mean, it's not. I mean, it is a competition.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
the race to fame is a competition. I mean, it's
Yeah.
about who
And
can
it's-
get more views
It's,
faster.
yeah, I
basically.
mean, it's just about who has the most potential for growth. you
Yeah,
know?
that's exactly it, dude.
Yeah.
And who's better at marketing that growth? Like who can do it and sell it better? Essentially, that's kind of where it's at now. Anyways, I don't know if that's been the trend for however long, but
I mean, I think if you think about it, like, all bands kind of have an image,
yeah,
and like I said, the genre has a big thing to do with it. You have
Mhm.
to pull an image for that.
you do, and it's it's weird how you can't. It's weird how, like you said, all like bands have an image, kind of based on their genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
it's because like I feel like you kind of have to pull people in to show that you're serious about the genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
you couldn't be dressed in, all cowboy get up and be like
Be a punk rock
be a
band.
punk rocker. Like
Unless
nobody's
you
gonna-
were
know what I
unless you were
mean?
me first in the Gimme Gimmes and you were just doing the show, it's like
Yeah.
because they dress
Yeah.
like that. But other than that, they're like the only ones that can do that. Yeah, you can't do that stuff.
I mean, it's not really a bad thing, but like if you think about it, like music is really influenced by culture.
Yeah.
Culture's influenced by society. Culture's influenced on ethnicity and everything.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Some
sure.
folks
Kinda
build
all-
expectations. And
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what do you guys think what do you guys think the culture is like musically in Casper and surrounding right now? Cuz I feel like it's hard to pin it. I don't think it's like pinned down to one. Like I feel like it's really diverse right now as far as the music scene is going.
I mean, I I want to say it was maybe 2014 or 2015. The punk scene was like really catching wave.
Blew up. Yeah, that's when I was in
Huge.
Good Morning Tonight.
Yeah,
that's when
and
I
it
was
was
playing drums
like
for them.
Caroline's
Way.
Way.
Yeah.
Even Figures in Fiction,
Mhm.
and So Called, and
Dude.
all of them were really moving.
Dude, I interviewed them and I got their tracks from them. I don't know
Yeah.
if they've released those yet or not, but I got their tracks from them, dude. Holy shit. It's too bad. It's too bad that nothing ever happened because man,
Yeah.
those guys those tracks were fiery, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were really really good.
Yeah.
They deserve more than obscurity for sure.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. For sure.
Or even like Deeper Than My Thoughts.
yeah.
I don't know if they're like
I don't-
still
I-
moving, but
do they have anything on
Well,
the
they-
webs?
well, they had a pretty big album
Do they?
blowing up. That
Yeah.
was like their first album, and it was like 8 tracks or something like
I
that.
remember hearing about it. I don't know if I ever got to see those guys or not.
Oh.
Are they still doing stuff?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, cause
I haven't heard anything.
I
for a while.
remember a while, like last summer, I asked them if they wanted to do the shows, and they just never hit me back. So I mean, that
Who-
could be a lot of things.
Who was that? Who was in that band?
CeeLo,
Joe something?
yeah, and Joe Shepperson,
And there was somebody else.
yeah,
Huh.
some drummer.
Okay, deeper than my thoughts.
But
yeah,
isn't
and
it weird how it kind of had that peak of like punk rock, and then for some
Yeah.
reason it just like fizzled out. For a
it
little
fizzled, and then I feel like there was a metal scene that came up for a little while. Maybe that was during or shortly after the punk scene, but
Yeah.
like, and then metal rose up for a long time. That's when you had, and I think they're still around. Souls came down and played a lot, and a couple other metal bands had like started to spring up, and then those ones kind of went by the wayside too. And I don't know. That's why I asked. I was like, where is it at now? Like, what do you guys?
Well, I
think?
mean, I guess some people are probably like take a break,
Yeah.
record a little bit. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's good to
On
kind
and
of
off.
get your bearings straight and
Mm-hmm.
work on some material. That's kind of what we've been doing lately. Is
Yeah.
just kind of gearing up because
Yeah.
we just want some
Some
more.
new stuff.
New
Are you guys?
stuff.
So are you guys going to continue to record your stuff like just on your own?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we had the the budget and the acquaintances to fly us out to like actually
And actually record
do
somewhere?
something.
Yeah.
We could luck out. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried a few studios here in town, and not to mention any names of them, but
Yeah.
one place wanted like $800 for 4 songs, and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. And that's the thing is like that amount of money isn't like unfeasible if the credentials are in the right place, but if there's no credentials to back that up, it's kind of like, well, where are you getting that number from, like
I mean, it's hard because I really understand because so recently I was in Denver and I went to go see Zach Deputy. I don't know if you know who that is. He does he's a solo guy and he does like live loops, drums, bass, everything by himself. And
Okay.
he was on the floor and I went out and talked to him and I was like, dude, like, what's your just advice for us? And he was like, well, eventually you got to put some money behind recording.
Mm-hmm.
He's like I just spent I think it was like around like 10 grand for his album, and I was like.
Man.
I was like, I understand that, dude, but like, I just don't have that kind of money to just toss.
Yeah, there's
and
no
I don't
way.
want to be like in studio debt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like I make payments on my album.
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
that's not a really good feeling for me.
No, no way, dude.
We all kind of said the same thing.
And
Like
$10,000
like, what?
at that point, you're making a car payment on your album. Like
I know.
It's not.
for real.
And it's like gonna be our first like album.
Actual-
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
actual album.
Yeah,
know?
and you don't want to go that deep on
No.
your first album.
No.
Never. Yeah, never.
And-
That's yeah. Have you guys ever recorded anywhere? Do any of you guys have any like experience in like a big studio or anything like that? Like any? Yeah.
There was an acquaintance we had who was fairly professional, had a really good demeanor about his recording talent, and we did do a few songs with him.
We did 4.
We did 4.
Yeah, we did 4.
Was it 4? And
Okay.
it turned out pretty well. But it's nice to in the end to kind of get the numbers when you put through a little bit of effort. But that's more luck based geographically and
I just don't think.
chance-wise.
But at the same time, I don't really feel like we marketed it too good. Like
The
I just
right
don't
way,
feel like
yeah.
we pushed it right because like our whole mind frame was like, all right, we're gonna get ready to go play this show out of town, Wyoming Woodstock, and like. Everybody's gonna listen to it, all this and that, and we didn't have a release show. Like we
Yeah.
really messed that one up, but that's
Okay.
just an experience,
Yeah.
It was
You learn.
mainly like we recorded it, but we were just
We didn't
when we
push
went
it.
to go do Wine and Woodstock, we were just ready almost just to push all the songs right then.
Oh, really?
Push
Like
them
we
all
didn't
out.
really release. Well, we did. We released one single, and like what? Maybe a month later, we released the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
That's what something I've experienced too, and that's part of. I think that kind of ties into like booking shows and stuff here too. Is timing is kind of important, especially in a town like this.
dude,
Like,
it's rough. Like
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times I've tried to set stuff up months in advance, months and months and months, and it's just like, so is the show booked? And they're like, well, blah
Mhm.
blah blah. I'm like, dude, I gotta know now.
you have to
'Cause,
know
like,
now.
we
and
need time off.
well, yeah. First and foremost, the band's got to know the date, so we have a
Yes.
projected date.
Yeah.
And then, like we need to get promotion up. Like it's all about promotion, man. I feel like
dude, I mean, people just don't understand how fickle people are.
they really are, dude. It's hard to get people to go out
It's hard
Yeah.
because people don't want to spend money. They want to get there the quickest way possible, have a drink, leave.
and leave. Yeah.
That's what they want. They don't
Yep.
want to spend any more money than they have
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, it's getting shout out to my mom and Stan because they never come out to shows, and I try and get them out all the time, dude. I always tell them, and that's usually the reason why is because my mom will ask me, well, when are you guys playing? And typically we're playing towards the end of the bill somewhere,
Yeah.
so it's like, well, we'll probably be on stage around 10 o'clock, and she's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be out at 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
for real.
I can't really blame you, you know.
Dude, I
Like,
mean, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Like, I try not to, like, I think we've kind of tried not to do too many winter shows because
Yeah.
that was kind of the plan. We were like, when
That's-
was our last show before this one?
It was
November 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, November.
Same venue.
Yeah, November 30th. And we're just like, all right, so we're going to record this month. And then when January, we're going to roll again.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what Records did too. We didn't play a whole lot this last winter. We spent time getting new ideas, and then like this year is going to be the year for getting everything laid down and
Yep.
tracked, and then probably by the end of the year be able to put something out by the end of the year.
I'm just like trying to be better at like just understanding how to move because like I've heard a lot of people tell me like, oh, you need to be doing shows all the time. You need to be doing shows all the time. But I've heard a lot of people say that's not necessarily true because you're out there so much.
that people will
The
start.
value is lower.
Yeah, that you lower
you
your
know?
value. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the thing too is if you play one night and it's a free show, and then 2 nights later you're playing a show where it's $5 to get in, people are like, well,
Dude, what?
I'm not going to go and pay $5 when I can go 2 nights earlier and see you for free, and that constitutes a little bit to it also. Yeah, it's like you said, man, people are very, very fickle in this
You just
town.
you just have to understand what the consumer wants.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And think about it, it's mainly all about the consumer. We're
And
trying to get a crowd and stuff.
I've heard both sides of that too, man. For the first few years that Records was together, when it was a lot of just me and Alex playing acoustic shows,
Yeah.
we played a lot, man. Like we would play a lot, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, like just playing everywhere we could.
Very nice.
And I felt like we developed a following, but there was like you almost hit like that breaking point or that tipping point or whatever you want to call it, where like we kind of started overplaying, and
Yeah.
people stopped showing up.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, like I said, was because people were confused. It's like, why? How come you guys keep charging different prices to go see you? Some nights you guys are free. Other nights I have to pay $5 or $8 to come in and see you guys. And
Yeah.
it's like, people, you just like you
It's
said,
it's weird. It's just a weird balance, and it's different with everybody.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
especially with us being kind of in the surf rock reggae genre. Like, I always say this. I'm just like, dude, it's like almost worse being the first people to do it because we can't base it off of anybody else.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
The
Like if there was
novelty.
another band who did what we're doing right now, it'd be a lot easier to say like, oh, look at them, look how they've been doing.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's
So-
no other. I was actually I think I was talking to Brandon about that the other night. You guys are kind of like the only one in your genre in
Yeah.
Casper, and like
Yeah.
I don't know about surrounding areas. I haven't done any research.
I
but
mean,
is there anyone around? Do you like, as far as I'm concerned, you guys and Poetry No Pros are like the 2 closest as far as genre, and it's not even close. It's just like
it's just the same vibe.
essentially the fact that
just
you guys are both
fun.
just music, like
Yeah,
like
we're
all
just fun.
instrumental. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
about as close as it gets. But you guys aren't even all instrumental.
No.
You guys still have vocals.
yeah,
in
we
your
just
stuff, so.
have some long jam.
Yeah,
parts.
yeah, and that's what makes you part of that like
Right.
rock surf.
I
rock
mean,
type
we
of
play
thing.
with shows at Easy Side a lot.
Yeah,
But
and that's
we're,
what
like, good friends with them.
I was telling Brandon. I was like, man, give these kids a couple of years. If they stick at it, I think think they're definitely going to be like Casper's next easy side. you know,
Yeah.
like, and I don't know if that's. I'm not trying to be demeaning or anything.
Oh,
like,
No.
I'll
I
take
think-
that as a compliment.
dude,
They're
they're
some
like
badass guys.
they're good dudes, man. They're really
Yeah.
good dudes, and they were very, very, very popular for a really long time here. They were like,
Yeah.
man, when Easy Side was playing, or Seeds and Stems was, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they used to be. So
Yeah.
when Seeds and
Oh,
Stems
yeah.
was playing, it
Seeds
was
and
like
Stems.
people fucking turned up, dude. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. I was actually that's cool that you guys like those guys and you're friends with them, because that's what
Yeah.
I see in you guys. I'm like, I think
Yeah.
you guys are pretty much like working your way up to be a
Yeah.
really badass like Easy
They
Side
give
Gen
us
2.
a lot of advice.
Yeah.
Just with like, just
Just with everything.
everything.
Yeah, me and the Records boys are actually planning to set up a show. I don't know if I'm able to talk about it yet or not, because we're still kind of in talks about it. But
Oh.
we're
Hush, hush.
we're setting up a show in March
Yeah.
at a pretty cool place here in Casper that doesn't really get a lot of shows. And we actually asked if I talked to Jared Campos, the drummer for Easy
Yeah.
Side. Asked him if they
my
wanted to
guy.
play, and he was like, "Dude, it'd be sick to play there because it's like
Yeah.
not a very common place." So we're hoping it'll be Records, Easy Side, and the Front, because
Wow.
those guys are goddamn legends. The Front is they're so cool, man.
Dude, I've
Shout
been
outs.
wanting to get a show at the Gaslight.
The Gaslight's cool. The Gaslight's
Yeah.
cool. The only qualm that I have about the Gaslight is the way that it's set up, because it's like, and not like stage-wise or anything. The stage is sick, but
Yeah.
the floors are concrete, the stage is wood, the walls are brick, and the ceiling is like steel beams. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just a reverberation box in there, man.
Yeah.
Like it feeds
gets,
back.
gets pretty loud in there.
It does, dude. It gets super loud in there. I think there's a couple really easy fixes to make that better. Like all they have to do is like hang some bogos or some gobos from the top of the like above the stage
Yeah.
to dampen the stage a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
would probably take care of it. But
Dude, I wish there was like an actual just like small theater venue in town.
Yeah.
For all the bands.
that'd be so
That's not
sick, and
fun.
like a standing theater, not like a sitting.
Have you ever been to the
Yeah.
Bluebird?
Have I been to the Bluebird? I feel like I have.
It's like pretty small. It's just a little ballroom theater.
Okay.
But I wish if we had something like that, because those, I mean,
Where's
yeah,
that?
super cool.
it's in Denver, the
Of
Bluebird
course.
Theater.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen a band at the Bluebird Theater. I can't remember who it was, but I think I have.
I mean, if we just had something like that, I feel like it'd be better because we, have the PA, we got the stage, blah blah blah. This is strictly just for music.
Yeah.
So we can like actually bring that crowd of people who just want to come jam and have a drink.
Well, and
do
it's just
whatever.
it's like that would be a nice thing too. My whole theory with that is like, if you have one spot where there's a house PA and this is the spot that bands play, people go to that spot because they don't have to keep looking around for it. They don't have to keep finding the new spot where the band's going to be. You know, like the venue doesn't change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind like rotating venues, but if there was just like one place that I could just go every time, be like they like just to come.
Exactly.
We get
exactly.
paid and stuff.
Yep. Just like a venue, like you said, a venue
Yeah,
down in Denver
like a
or
real
Fort Collins or something. Like just
Yeah.
a venue. Like
Yeah.
this is where the shows happen. If you book a show here, book it here. Like this is where the people turn out. This is where they have concessions. They have a beer or a alcohol license,
Yeah.
so they can sell beer and stuff.
I always envision like Scott Pilgrim. Like, if you've seen that movie, like where you
I've
could just-
seen. I think
you
I've
could
seen
just
that movie
host
one
bands.
time, but
kind of in a funny way, but it's like it'd be cool, just like that reality where it's like you can do Battle of the Bands or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. But I think that'd be neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, dude. Speaking of Battle of the Bands, have you guys, do you guys know about the Battle for Old Wyoming? The thing that Brandon Schulte does.
Medicine Bow.
Yeah, and out in Medicine Bow.
Yeah, I've heard about it for years.
Have you ever been to it?
Never
No.
been able to go.
No.
Dude, it's
time-wise.
fucking. You guys got to go. If he does it, I think he's gonna do it this year. I don't know. I haven't actually talked to him about it,
Sweet.
but I hope he does it this year. Shout out Schulte. I hope you do Battle of the Bands this year. That would be sick. But yeah, dude, you guys got to go check it out. If he does, you got to check it out. It's crazy, man. It's like it's 2 days in. I think it's 2 days. Maybe it's just one. I think it's 2 days in Medicine Bow, where it just like it floods. The town floods. They said in a report from the last one that they did that their town triples in population or something like that
Yeah,
for,
Yeah,
for those
it's pretty small.
for those 2 days. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a town of like 200 or something like that. But
Have you been there, Garrett?
Yeah, you passed through on the way to Laramie,
yeah,
right?
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
that's
You been
that
there?
left turn on the way to Laramie.
We passed through and we went and played at the Cowboy.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Which cowboy? The one on 3rd Street or like the actual cowboy dance hall?
The actual
The
Cowboy
Western
dance
one?
hall.
Yeah, for sure. What band?
Average Dude went and played.
Oh, okay.
there.
Nice.
Me and Tyler with Jack Hemphill. And
Yeah, I was gonna say that was with you and Jack. Were you in the band also?
Yeah,
I
he
was-
was our
Yep.
drummer.
Oh shit. Okay. Did
Yeah.
you? Were you playing drums for them at the Firefly show? for?
Yeah, Firefly was like our main go-to for a while.
Okay.
Really enjoyable for average dude.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
when that was a thing, we recently kind of dissolved politely, but dissolved. But yeah,
Disbanded?
Firefly,
Disbanded. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah,
right
that's what it is. Just disbanded.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Yeah, that's
Things
pretty
change.
Yeah,
People
it's cool. That's part of the cool part about like bringing people in and getting to talk to them is I get to like meet people and figure out like how they got where they're at. Like there's been a couple bands that have come in and they're like shit is what it is, and we don't want to no one ever badmouths anybody in here. It's always like if something happens, it is what it is. It happened. We moved on, and here we are.
I mean, we've run into some tension, but
Oh, yeah.
we're adults
Yeah.
and we
Absolutely. Yep.
we grow up.
Yep. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, adults, how old are you? Garrett said he was 25. How old are you?
19.
Okay, all right. I was gonna
Yeah.
say you don't
Yeah,
look
I'm
like
young boy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 25 too.
25. Okay, yeah. So you are. You're the young
yeah,
kid.
I'm the young boy.
You're the young gun, man.
Yeah.
So that means you just graduated like a few years ago, right?
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's
Dude, I know.
what school?
NC.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. So how do you like the remodel there?
It's all right.
Yeah?
It's just me. I just like hate the way new schools look. They're
Really?
too boxy.
Yeah, they're boxy and they're
Personal
starting to
thing.
set them up like college campuses almost.
Yeah.
Like
industrial.
Yeah,
Big-
but I get it. It's the new wave.
it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks good, but I'm just like,
Looks
do
real
you
clean
really
cut.
need to drop that much money on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. They I think it's funny that like right when they started redoing Kelly Walsh, NC started redoing theirs, and it's like kind of battle of the schools thing. Like
Yeah.
who's gonna build the school bigger and
Mhm.
better?
Dude, I
Totally.
never was in any band classes.
Really,
None.
really
Dude, I taught myself how to play guitar.
nice, man.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you've done really. How long have you been playing?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's really good. And
Yeah.
you're already doing like top chords and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like
well-
jazzy stuff.
Well, it's kind of weird because the first thing I kind of like, I mean, obviously, like I first learned to play rhythm, but like I feel like playing reggae guitar helped me so much to learn about playing in a band of just like feeling it
Yeah.
instead of playing on top of it.
Yeah,
and
because with reggae, you kind of create the beat with your hand.
well,
know,
it's
you
on
do
the
a lot of
offbeat,
that.
so it's like
Yeah.
cha-cha,
Yeah.
cha-cha, cha-cha,
Right, so you
cha-cha.
kind of create the feel of the 2 and 4
Right.
with your other hand. So
You can just, it's just kind of interesting because like I try to teach so many people how to play reggae guitar and they cannot do it.
yeah,
I
'cause
don't like. It's
Is
not.
it's a down up, right?
Well, it's
Check
usually
it.
a down or it's a down. Well, ska is down up.
Yeah.
Reggae is just down.
Oh, is it?
But
Okay.
you got a palm mute,
Right.
and you're really just hitting the 4 high strings. You're
Okay.
not really getting those low ones.
Yeah,
But-
that's what it's talking about, doing top chords and stuff. That's what
Mhm.
I think is cool about reggae music.
Yeah.
I like ska music a lot, and they do a lot
Dude,
of
have
that.
you seen the Wailers?
I don't think so. Have I seen the Wailers? No, I don't think I have.
Dude, they come to. I'm actually gonna go see them back in January, but I've seen. This is gonna be my 4th time seeing them.
Nice.
Obviously Bob Marley's not with them anymore. So Josh David Barrett's vocals and guitar now.
Okay.
Dude, he is a sweet dude.
Yeah?
Like he's a good guitar player too.
Yeah.
but
They come through Denver.
Denver, Fort Collins, they're always in
Oh, really?
Colorado around January. They're playing like 3 dates this year.
Nice, man.
There's this other band that opens up for them all the time. They're from Denver. They're called the Rostosaurus. I'm thinking about maybe trying to get those guys to come down here. and
Yeah.
Get
Sounds
a show
sick.
going. Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick for sure, man.
Yeah.
I've tried to like get my feet wet in the Colorado music stuff too. Like we love going down. A few years ago, we played with a band called If I Fail. We actually like hooked up with those guys a few times and made pretty good friends with them. And went down and played. We got to play the Marquee Theater down there,
Yeah.
and that was fucking so cool, dude. The Marquee Theater is so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
yeah, and I've seen some pretty big bands in that room too. So like to be able to get up on the stage and play where they did, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, this is cool. Like,
Well, I mean, I always tell these guys, I'm just like, dude, we're gonna tear it up in Colorado.
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
already know it.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys
we're
definitely
gonna just
will.
hit it hard just because like
it's like you said, we were talking about earlier. Like the as far
we
as
can
like
talk about that now.
yeah, now we can talk about the demographic and the politics that are associated with it. Yeah, so like
what do you think about that, Garrett?
Fingers crossed, big time for Colorado. I mean, it's like right there, and there's so many chances and opportunities just because the population is,
yeah, for sure.
is well over where we're from. I love being a representative of like the Casper music scene and stuff.
Yeah.
But Colorado, I mean, that's like, whoa, that'd be cool.
It's
It's-
just more us.
Yeah,
I feel
it's and that's what we were saying is like it's definitely you guys being like the surf rock kind of vibe, that kind of chill musical kind of feeling. People I mean, let's face it. Colorado's a blue state, man. So they're definitely more prone
Yeah.
to
Oh,
like
yeah.
let's jam and dance and fucking get
Just have a good
get
time.
stoned and
Yeah.
fucking exactly.
I mean, it's just the way it is, and I mean, I do feel like when we first came out, like I feel like people were kind of jaded because they're just like, dude, what is this? Because
Yeah.
like I said, nobody's done it.
right.
Nobody's
Right.
done it at all, you know. So
For
it's
sure.
just kind of a new avenue.
What influenced you to want to be the surf rock thing? Like what sparked the like? What are your influences in general? Like who do you look up to? Who are your guys? Who are all of your guys? We're gonna ask
yeah,
all
go
three
ahead.
of you guys.
You start first,
who are
Ty.
your guys, Tyler?
So I like country and such, but I
What's
also
it?
like the more '80s hair metal.
Did you say you like country?
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring him down. So you like who are your favorite country guys? Tell me Garth Brooks. Say it.
I
Say it,
dig Garth
motherfucker.
Brooks, but it's more like I dig the bands, but it's like the certain bass players from those bands
Okay,
that I
okay.
dig.
Sure. All right. And then who's 80s wise? Who's one of your favorite 80s bands?
Man, Nikki Sixx from
Yeah?
Motley Crue is my favorite
Okay,
bass player of
okay.
all time.
Dude, some of the I've listened to like some of the producers and stuff that have access to those tracks,
Yeah.
and when they play back the bass guitar, it doesn't even sound like it sounds like a fucking guitar, dude.
Yeah.
It's so distorted, and a lot of times it's because they played it through like a Marshall head and a Marshall 412. They played it through a
Yeah.
fucking guitar cab, and they just like because it gets that crunchy, distorted, amazing. There was a lot of like 80s hair bands that had that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's really really cool.
They were saying that a lot of them went through Marshall stacks for most of the '80s.
Yeah.
That's what they played through.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's what there's still people that do that today. A lot of metal bands now, like a lot of new metal bands, are doing that today. They don't even record bass through bass cabs anymore. They
Yeah.
just go straight through a guitar cab.
Yeah.
You
The-
can.
A lot of times they'll go through like a Hughes and Kettner, like an overdriven, like they'll just smash the shit out of it, dude, and it sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's part of the qualm that I have with music today is everything is getting too compressed and everything is the music is so loud and so bashing all the time that like the dynamics in the songs are kind of disappearing. The whole
Yeah.
song is just 100% all the way through.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just feel like it's losing some of its feel because of that.
I like loud, but not super, 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 super.
Yeah,
loud.
like everything just compressed, and there's 48 layers of guitars, and there's 28 layers of vocals, and there's 48 808 drops in the whole song, and and I think part of that's due to the fact that drum samples are kind of taking over everything. Like
Yeah.
808s.
808s and drum samples. You can have somebody play a real drum kit and go in the program and just layer in fake drums over the top of it, and
Yep.
it sounds like somebody played it in a studio in London
Right.
somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I think the quality of the technology has just made everything go up.
That's just what it is too, and it's getting to the point now, which I watch a lot of producers, professional
Yeah.
producers on the internet, and they're getting to the point now where the digital world is getting so clean that they're actually looking to ways to like dirty the plugins up. Like they get a plugin that's so
Right.
clean, but they'll add distortion to it to make it sound less right because it's getting too
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Music's getting boring because of that. Everything's gridded and everything's 100% perfect and everything stops and goes right at the right times and.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know, and I'm a proponent of that. Like the records music it's gridded, man, and it's like everything's set up really well. But I think there's a line between overdoing it. Like I don't get crazy with it. I set things up the way that I think feels comfortable. But
Yeah.
there's still clips and blips and mistakes and stuff in our records, and we let
Yeah.
them fly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason to fix that stuff. But anyways, back to influences. So you like country and 80s hair bands.
Yep. I love like the more like '80s style where
Yeah.
just slinging guitars and jumping off the stages and
Yeah, dude,
everything.
for sure. That's kind of the era of they kind of like started shaping distortion in the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Started making it kind of
Moved it to
ACDC
metal.
and
moving to metal. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
all right. What do you got? Who's yours? I know you were saying something about the Beatles last night, weren't you?
Yeah, dude, I listened to a ton of the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice,
I love
dude.
the Beatles.
Nice.
Any of that '60s stuff, I'm really influenced by. But I do like the Beach Boys, Revolution.
How do you come
everything.
up? How do you come up at 19 years old and you're listening to like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and like
Dude,
all the
I don't
stuff
know.
that's-
I'm just like, it's not that I don't like new music because I do. I listen to like mainly everything. I like Post Malone. Like I like
Okay.
a lot of new stuff. I like hip hop and
Sure.
but dude, I don't know. It's just something about older music. Just
Yeah.
really
Yeah. That's what
I'm an old soul.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. That's cool, man. Because you don't see that a lot anymore. You don't get these younger kids that are coming out like listening to.
And I was like, honestly, I was never too big on punk and stuff because like a lot of my friends, were listening to Blink-182, and I was just like, dude, I don't listen to that.
Yeah.
Nothing that like not that I don't like it, but it's just,
It just
I never
wasn't
grew
your
up
thing.
on it.
Yeah, sure, wasn't your
wasn't
thing.
what I gravitated towards.
When I started like really getting into, I think the first CD that I actually ever bought, like with my own money,
Yeah.
I think was D12. Actually, I think it was a rap
Yeah,
album. Like
that
I
was
started,
my era,
I started
too.
on rap, man. Like I started coming up like pretty heavily listening to rap, and I think one of my friends actually introduced me to punk music for the first time, and it kind of changed my life. He showed me. I don't remember what band it was. I had known about Blink-182 and those bands, but
Yeah.
he showed me like somebody that was like not on the mainstream, but like still a punk band, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, dude! There's like, what are they doing? That sounds amazing, and it just
Yeah.
kind of drove me from there. I was like, yeah, that's
Right.
what I want to do. So.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sweet.
definitely. It's cool, man. That's really cool. Do you have like an old records player or anything? Like you?
I do, dude. I got
vinyl
those.
listener. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got a ton of vinyl. I love
Nice,
collecting
man.
vinyl. I got a lot of CDs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I can vouch.
My mom's got an old vinyl player, and every once in a while I ask her to play it, but she's always like, well, I don't know if I want to mess with it. Or
Dude,
anything.
I mean they can get old.
Yeah, you got to
They can
replace
get
the
old.
needles and stuff in
Replace
those
the
things.
needles.
Yeah.
Get
It's cool though, dude. That's
dude.
cool, man.
Got to stay organic and thank the people who came before and
Yeah,
just
like-
learn.
Like
Amen.
pave the way for
Pave
what
the
we're
way
doing
for
now,
us,
man.
yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. All right, Garrett, who's your influential
Ramstein.
peoples?
You might be able to tell. Yeah,
Rammstein.
my buddies are saying Rammstein. I do love Rammstein.
Really?
I do. I like just anything foreign.
So that's how you pronounce it? It's Rammstein?
I don't know.
It's
If-
not Rammstein or
If you're German, you'll probably hear Rammstein more than Rammstein.
okay, Rammstein. Okay, I don't know how.
Not
Yeah,
to sound like that, but I was gonna say like I'm brainstorming over here, and I'm thinking of all these like I could literally name from most main genres, like a favorite band I have. Like for punk, there was this really obscure album that this band called Drexel released.
Okay.
And if you look up Drexel, The Inevitable is available on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's the best, most masterpiece of a punk album I've ever heard. It's
Really?
Like 01 or so.
okay.
But yeah, I love like recently, like over the past couple of years, I've been really into like EDM, of course. Who doesn't
Okay.
love some good techno here and there? But then there's a lot of like Russian techno. Like I was telling my
You're like a big foreign music listener, huh?
yeah, dude. I mean, it's the globe. It's not just the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean in general, but I mean, then there's I could go on for hours, but there's this really good singer named Vedmina Poliana, and it's all in Russian. But she's a really good singer. She's a really
Okay.
good singer. Yeah, she's techno, and it blows my mind.
Nice, dude.
I like Post Malone too, and he's really good. I listen to him on the radio all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if I think I've heard Post Malone songs, but like I don't know if I'd be able to pick one out if it was playing or not. Like, and it's not because I don't like him or anything. I just haven't really ever taken the time to listen.
I'm gonna go see him twice. in
I
March.
hear like just the other day actually, Rogan did a podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan. I know you're watching this. What's up, dude? Good to
Joe.
good to talk to you
Hey,
again,
man.
buddy. Yeah, never. Once in my wildest fucking dreams. But he was talking to somebody and he was saying, he was talking about Post Malone's face tattoos and he was like, but he's out there, and he makes fucking great music. He's a good musician. and
Dude,
he's
that man
fucking-
is pretty rich.
I
I tell you what.
Yeah.
But
It's-
I tell you, he's like probably one of the only people I could look at mainstream and even somewhat relate to.
yeah.
Because of just like, this is just a guy who just plays guitars, played in a lot of bands, and now he's like a rapper.
And even
You know?
like some of my friends that I wouldn't expect to be into like that kind of, and he kind of has defined his own genre too. I think that's part of the reason why he's so popular is
Yeah.
because he kind of made his own way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be described as like hip hop, kind of like new pop kind of stuff, But
you-
I have friends that like wouldn't listen to that kind of stuff, and they're still like like Post Malone's like Lane Dennison, man.
You
And
see-
he listens to hip hop and stuff every once in a while, but like he's one that surprised me. He's like, dude, Post Malone's the shit,
He's,
I'm like,
he's pretty.
Yeah.
he's
couple
a
of
good-
couple of the
he's a good
guitar
man.
players in Presley Avenue, which is the third band that I'm in. I play drums for them too,
Right.
which is like the remake of Good Morning Tonight. Yeah, I'm a band slut, dude. I'm a super band slut. But
Hells yeah.
the two guitar players in that band too, they're like, yeah, man, love Post Malone. I'm like,
Have
really?
have you heard "Stay Off Beer Bongs and Bentleys"?
Is it one of his songs?
Yeah.
I probably would know it if someone played it. I'd probably be like, oh, that song. But I
Usually
don't.
usually at our shows, either towards the end or in the middle, I'll just like bust out my acoustic guitar and I'll play some acoustic. I usually cover that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. God damn, dude. So you're kind of like you're learning a lot. You've only been playing for a few years. And
Dude, I'm trying to make it, man. I
Good.
really want a career.
Good, dude.
And I just
Like I'm trying to
Grinding
make
through
it too. That's the
Yeah.
thing is like boom, again, it's cool because it kind of always comes full circle at like towards the end of the podcast somehow. But like that's part of the reason why I do this thing is because the community, the music community in Casper needs to be like a collective thing, you know? Like the more positivity we all have and the more we're all trying to help each other make it, the more we're going to fucking make it, you know? Like it doesn't matter who gets there first. Like all that matters is that like attention is being brought to Casper, Wyoming, you know, and like people are starting to realize, oh shit, like there's stuff going on in Casper. Like there's really good fucking talent in there.
Yeah.
And right now there is some crazy good talent in Casper, dude. Chase Sandoval, Zach Schomer, who's the rapper dude? Quinn Lewis. He's
Mighty
like,
Q.
Yeah, the Mighty Q,
Is that
man.
Mighty Q? Is that him?
No, that's Calvin. That's Calvin Martinez.
Oh,
yeah, he's
well,
Mighty Q.
I've heard Calvin too. He's great.
And dude,
Yeah.
Calvin is an amazing photographer, amazing video editor. He's the dude that runs all the Saturn Return stuff. And so
wow.
yeah, so I think he actually shot Chase Sandoval's music video. I think he shot Drive. I'm pretty sure he did. Don't quote me on that, but I think he did.
Yeah.
If so, please help.
Dude, and there's just, I mean, the list goes on and on for talented people that are coming out of Casper, man. It's really cool. So yeah, so there needs to be a collective effort to like, someone's got to make it, man. Like someone's got to do it. I don't
Dude,
know.
I mean, people are gonna make it out of here, man. You just gotta like
You got
lay
to
your
drive,
cards
dude.
right,
You
and
gotta,
you gotta want it first.
you got to
of all.
really, really push, you know.
'Cause I tell you what, I've met a lot of musicians, a lot of bands that are just kind of there just to be there,
Yep.
and not go there,
Mm-hmm. Just kind of play shows
which
and
is
do
kind
the
of
thing.
like it's cool, but
If that's what you want to do, there's
that's what
nothing
you
wrong
want to
with
do.
that.
I applaud you for it.
There's
but-
nothing wrong with having a hobby and liking that
Yeah.
hobby and doing it, you know. I mean, I think it's actually really, really healthy, you know, to do something that like exercises your mind and gets you out, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's not just going out and sitting at a bar and drinking and watching TV.
I know, right?
So,
I mean, I'm dying for like being on tour for like 2
Yeah.
months at a time. That's
dude,
a dream for me.
that's as of right now, like my version in my head of like making it is like I don't foresee myself being like some super rock star famous, like crazy idealistic anything. I don't even know if I'd really want that, but my version of making it is getting signed to somebody who would pay for a budgeted tour for, you know, 3 to 5 months. Like
Yeah.
you guys have 3 to 5 months of expenses paid and we'll get you a van and like boom, you have these dates for, you know, this amount of time.
Have you had any run-ins with possible managers before?
Have I
Yeah, like have you ever had anybody who was like, "Yo, you're gonna get this, and this," but wait.
I've had like via email. I get those things every fucking day via
Right.
email. You know, there's always something like A&R Productions presents, and they want to give you that. But as far as like actual people that like wanted to offer us a budget, we haven't ever really come across anything that was like legitimate. You know,
Yeah.
Like you said, there's always people that are like, oh hey,
Dude,
we can manage
we've
you.
talked to like 2 people. The first one was like pretty sketch. We didn't really do anything. The second one we did, but we just kind of cut it because we were just like, dude, this is like,
Yeah,
because we were just like, dude, I'm pretty sure we're being finessed.
being scammed. Yeah,
Because like the one thing about like having the manager that I like is like the security of like if we want studio time, we get it.
That's
if
just
we
it,
want
yeah.
shows, we get it.
we get them. Yeah, exactly.
Because like it's pretty hard to be. There's nothing wrong with being independent, but it's pretty hard to book shows by yourself because you just call
Especially
them,
in
you're like,
Wyoming.
hey, I mean,
We have no.
yeah.
Hi, we have no backing, and nobody really knows who we are. Can we play the show,
Yeah,
please?
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
much what
I mean,
it is.
yeah.
Like,
Trust factor.
yeah.
Trust. and-
But we have 1,000 likes on Facebook. You know, that's pretty
Yeah.
much all you can go
That's what
off
all
of.
people really look at. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wish we had more
That's the step in.
because like that's mainly what I'm really pushing.
Well,
for
I can
this
help you
next
guys out with that. Jeremy Amack, actually, shout-outs, dude. Shout-outs to Jeremy Amack. He actually turned me on to this this community thing on Facebook where
Yeah.
if you go to a band's page, you can scroll across like where it says home, about, friends, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You can scroll over and there's a tab on there that says community. If you click on that, if you're on your band page and you go to somebody else's band page and click on that,
Right.
you can invite everyone who likes your band to like their band. And so
Wow.
and
We'll
they,
have to
they
check
can
that
do
out
the
when we
same
get
thing,
there.
and it's just you click on it and there's a select all, and like we just did it with we did it with them. That was part of the agreement for them coming in and doing the thing. Like he was like, I want to talk to you about this, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we did it, and I sent out 943 likes to them in a matter of like 5 seconds. It was like boop, select
Yeah.
all, and it was like 947 invitations have been sent. And I was
Well,
like,
I've-
holy
Genius.
shit, dude.
I've always thought like mainly our main audience is definitely gonna be on these like Colorado reggae bands.
For sure. And honestly, that's not a bad.
It's that. that.
There's a page on Facebook that you guys should check out. I don't know if you guys have subscribed to it or not, but if not, you should because I think it's called Fort Collins Live Music or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're constantly getting on there and like posting like when they have shows coming up and like who's playing and like links to their Facebooks and stuff like that. So if you guys are looking to get on down there, dude, that's
I
definitely...
mean, I'm like, hopefully this spring or summer I can hopefully set up a little tour going when we
for
release
sure.
our album.
Are you guys trying to get out this summer? And if so, how long are you looking to get out?
Summer is key. I don't know.
I
Chris,
mean, it just kind of depends, like, because like realistically, I'd like to either like find a band that we knew that was like already on a tour, and then we just kind of be like openers for it.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
I mean, if we got to do it by ourselves, so be it. But it just depends, because like we've talked about it. We're just like, hey, how about we go to like Denver like for a weekend?
Yeah.
Bounce around.
That's what
venues,
that's what
you know?
Records has talked about doing too. We did a tour 2 years ago, summer 2017, I think.
Yeah.
We went just by ourselves.
Yeah.
And we just hooked up on, I think it was like 5 or 6 dates from here to
Yep.
down to like Houston and back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was. I think it was Dallas. It wasn't Houston. But yeah, and back, and we did all that in like a week, and we ended up actually getting a sponsor that got us that paid for the van, which
Right.
was super cool. So
Yeah.
like we rented a van and had a sponsor pick it up for us, which was
That's sweet.
wouldn't have happened if that hadn't have happened. Like the van
expensive.
was like $780
Yeah.
for a week, and it was
Yeah.
like that in itself is like
That's expensive, man. And
it's like fuck, we still got to put gas in that thing,
yeah,
man. Like,
food,
yeah.
hotels.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Like there were nights.
there's-
There were
there's a
definitely
lot of
nights where it was
costs.
like, yo, we stayed in the key to. Okay, here's the thing. If you guys get out, I don't know if you have been, but the key to going out during the summer, the great thing about it, dude,
Yeah.
hit KOAs. Bring tents and hit KOAs.
Yeah.
Because you can camp in a KOA overnight for like
Hell yeah.
$15, man. It's
Yeah.
so cheap.
I got
And,
some
like-
family in Denver though, so I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
so I'm just like, dude, if
Hit
we
up
need
your
if
family.
we need places to crash, we'll just stay there for the night and then
Yeah.
go party all night
There you
or
go,
whatever.
there you go.
thrill of the tour.
Yeah, but
That would
like
be
if you
sweet.
guys go out any further or anything, like that saved our asses like on our entire tour,
Yeah.
because like especially when we're in like Kansas and Oklahoma and stuff, it's like 100 degrees out, like humidity is all
Yeah.
up, and it's just like, well, pitch a tent and like there's a fire ring and a grill, and we just get
Yeah.
hot dogs and like burn fire and hang
Yeah.
out, dude, and get drunk and like go buy a bottle. It's way cheaper than like drinking at a hotel bar or like, going to find something to do. Like it's way cheaper, and you can just sit around and like get drunk and eat food, man. It's cool though, dude. We want to get out. We definitely want to get out again. It was a lot of fun, but it's there's a lot of planning that goes into to getting out for sure. And like
Shoot.
you said, if you want to go by yourself, it even gets
Yeah,
even more
dude. I mean,
more
I wish somebody would have ever just like told me just how much being in a band costs.
yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, where was
I mean,
that
it
guy when
seems-
I was
it
like
seems-
5 years
It
old?
seems really obvious,
Yeah.
but at the same time, stuff just adds up.
You
dude.
don't really realize it when you're looking
No.
from the outside in until you start buying, and then you're
Yeah.
like, shit. And like once you start gaining interest in it, then all of a sudden you start realizing, oh no, like I'm not gonna have money ever.
Yeah. I mean, I remember somebody was telling me, I thought it was really funny. They're like, oh, you have to bring all your gear to a venue. I thought everybody just played on one. I was like, no.
In a perfect
I was
world,
like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I would never let anybody touch any of my stuff.
You haul your gear everywhere.
You haul your gear,
Yeah.
you buy your gear. That amp I have is $800.
Yeah.
That Fender I was playing on is
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah, is that American made?
Yeah,
Such a
that
pretty
board
guitar.
is $350.
Yep.
you know?
That's how it is, man. That's like when you look over in that room, it's like everything in that room is,
Yeah.
$500
Yeah.
and up. It's
I know.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
man. It's insane. Yeah, I wish that you're right. Like, where was the guy in kindergarten and first grade that was going, don't buy music stuff, don't buy music stuff,
Yeah.
stay away from music.
Yep.
Just listen, don't
Yeah,
buy,
yep.
just listen.
All for the good
Like
sound.
when you're having to like go buy new tubes
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
strings
Oh,
and
that's-
everything.
That's one thing I actually need to buy. I need to buy new tubes. for my
Strings,
amp.
capos, guitar picks.
Just strings alone, and being a drummer, drumsticks. dude.
Sticks.
Drumsticks are such a pain in the ass because they're expensive.
They snap and
A pair of drumsticks, I think, down at Rockstar right now is anywhere from like $9 to $11
Yep.
per pair.
Yep.
just for wood.
Did
Yeah.
you see that one in Sunrise went out of business?
Which one was
Really?
that?
I don't remember what it's
Wyoming
called.
Wyoming music.
Wyoming Music. Yeah, they went out of
Oh,
business.
Did they
That's too
really?
Yeah.
bad.
Dude, everything was like 75% off the last day.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
2 weeks maybe.
Oh, really? So that was really recent then.
Here,
Oh,
should we talk about the album a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have music coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was
Um,
it? 420.
Well, we don't have like a
nothing
super
set.
clear date for the whole album, but like we're gonna release a single, "Bury Me," on January 25th.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually Alex's birthday. Nice.
Yeah.
Dude. January 25th.
Yep,
Okay.
January 25th.
And you guys are doing. You said you're doing this one by yourself, right? Doing it all at
Yeah,
once?
we're gonna record this whole album by ourselves.
Okay.
Actually. So we're gonna do a concept album, and where every song is gonna be of a different genre.
Yeah.
So we're really
Okay.
this one coming out is gonna be like metal. So I really hope. it
Oh,
makes
yeah,
a
you were
lot
saying
of-
that
yeah,
last night at the
it's-
venue.
It's
That's
gonna
right.
make
Huh.
people are gonna be pretty surprised.
I'm interested.
It's
I'm
pretty
interested to
tough.
hear that. That's cool, dude.
Yep.
That's
Pretty experimental for sure.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
the genre
Oh, yeah.
thing, but
yeah. How do you guys record your drums and stuff for that? What's the setup for that?
It
I'm just wondering, I
It
just
kind
know.
of varies because like we will do like drums, but like we also for one of the songs, the song we played last night, "You're Just My Type."
Yeah.
The way the cues are for the drums, we're
Yeah.
gonna record those live in a few other tracks. We're
Okay.
gonna do kind of like a live room kind of setup.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's just nice to have those precise because what's the term? Like body memory and stuff. Or
Muscle
drumming.
memory?
Muscle memory.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong. Like I said, I use sampled drums on my stuff. I think there's definitely a tasteful way of using samples, and then there's overdoing it. Some of the new rock stuff I hear
Yeah.
today, I'm like,
Yeah.
God, dude, you can hardly tell the difference between the kick drum and the snare drum. Like they almost sound like the same instrument.
Yeah.
They're- 'cause
Yeah.
The kick drum is so plasticky, and
Yeah.
the snare drum is so flat and like pressed out that it's just they almost sound the same. It's weird, dude. I was listening to one the other day up at Gruner Brothers, and it's like, this sounds weird. It just doesn't even sound real.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
you can tell. You
Fake.
can just tell. It's weird.
I really don't like live electronic drum kits.
No,
I
no,
don't
no, no.
like 'em.
I have no problem with, again, same way. I have no problem with using triggers on your drums live if, 85% of the signal is the real drum,
Yep.
and 15% of the signal is the trigger. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that because then it just makes it a little bit fuller. But don't smear the whole drum set with fake drums, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's weird.
It's just generic maybe or
Something
like
yeah,
that,
it just sounds fake. Just doesn't
Yeah.
sound like real drums,
Mhm.
And it's a weird thing. I know, especially back in the day when I was in my old band Cherryville. It's like a screamo kind of band. We every once in a while we'd get to a venue and one of the other bands would have triggers set up on the kick drum. And there were a couple of them that did it right, but a couple of them set them up and they just sounded so plasticky, dude. It sounded bad. It was weird. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yep.
I don't know how any of that technology works. I've never done that. I've always just
It's
been like-
it's definitely something you got to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
even just recording a little bit, we've kind of like recorded samples of everything we think we want, and then we're just gonna kind of go down the list.
Oh,
and,
there you
like,
go.
Pick and choose
Okay.
what we want on the album.
So recording your own samples, that's also a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Like making
Yeah.
making your own samples.
well, the nice thing about using drums now is you can exactly pick and choose what you want to hit at
Mhm.
what time,
Mhm.
BPM, all that
Yep.
stuff, which
Yep.
is really nice.
And they're getting them now too. Like I know I use Easy Drummer a lot, and they're getting them to the point now where you can even tune the drum.
Yep.
You can pick the drum, you can pick the sizes, and then you can
Yep.
tune it also up or
Yep.
down. So
It's
you can even key match.
it's a vast world to explore, man.
Like I said, I think there are positives and negatives to it. I love the fact that it's available. I think it's definitely been overused in some
Oh, yeah.
genres and some things,
Oh, yeah.
But there's always going to be that. So there's.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a pretty kick-ass album. I'm pretty excited for it myself.
That's cool,
It'll
man.
be a
That's
full
cool.
one for sure.
You guys were you saying you want to have the whole thing done by April? April
Maybe.
20th?
ish.
Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah,
ish
okay.
around that.
Something
Okay.
around there.
No guarantees.
No guarantees.
I'm the same way, dude. I always like to make projections for the band. I'm like, dude, we're gonna have like 3 songs done by February.
I mean,
And then
all I can
February
promise
hits,
is
and I'm like,
we'll,
we don't have any songs done.
like all I can really promise is we'll have a single January, February, March.
Okay.
We'll drop one
Cool.
each month. So keep
And
it
how many on the
going.
whole album?
We're kind of kicking around that too because we're thinking about at least 10 with at least 2 acoustics
Ooh, wow,
tracks.
okay.
So
10 is solid.
Yeah.
Usually pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
And with the 2 acoustic tracks, are the acoustic tracks also going to be 2 different types of music, or are they gonna be, like, the
not
same?
necessarily. It's just like a little bit more raw side of like to hear my songwriting
Okay,
kinda take
sure.
place. Yeah.
I got you, dude. That's cool. That's a really cool idea for an album.
Yeah.
We-
It's kind of far out there, but I was just like, dude, I've not heard any of an album like
Yeah. I don't-
like so diverse like that.
No, I don't think I've heard. I mean, there are definitely bands out there like OAR on some of their live stuff. They
Yeah.
definitely do some different kind of they'll do tempo changes and things like that. But as far as like feel and like genre wise, they pretty much keep it. They stick to their genre for the most part.
I mean, I'm like Dude, I mean, I'm just a musician. I'll never say that like, I'm just this kind of guitar player. I'm that. Like,
Yeah, sure.
I'll be what I can.
Whatever you
I wanna
feel like
evolve,
doing, or yeah, exactly.
Because
And-
like, who knows? Like, people might like our metal side a little bit better than our softer side.
And who's to say? Yeah, who's
Yeah.
to say that why does a band have to stick to a particular genre?
I just kind of want to break those barriers because like I feel like everybody lives in this. They're like, oh, if I'm this, I can never do this.
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, I picked my path, so I got to stay on
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
like I mean, you're a person. You evolve.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
Your music's gonna evolve.
Yeah,
Just wanted
absolutely.
to
And-
test the waters.
My stuff doesn't sound the same from a year ago to now.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, dude. I know
like,
exactly.
You always evolve.
Mhm.
You know.
And isn't that kind of like the whole, like, isn't that defining art as a whole? Is
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to be the same thing. It's
No.
not supposed to be the same thing
No,
over and
it's
over.
not.
you know?
I mean,
Subjective.
yeah.
yeah, it's subjective. And, well,
Unless
like I said,
your artistic style is doing the same thing over and over, which is then that's still that's your niche. That's kind of the thing.
I mean,
so.
we'll always have like our normal sound because like I feel like we have this like really unique sound when we all are cooking up together. But
Yeah.
just for this album, at least, it's gonna be a little different. We're really messing around, you know.
For sure, dude. So, how many originals do you guys have right now?
Oh,
1,
jeez.
2, 3, 4, between like 6 and 7 or so.
Okay.
Oh no, it's probably like
Like we play about 6 and 7 right now in the set,
Okay.
but we have. I'd probably say.
what 15 maybe.
but yeah,
Oh,
I'd probably
really?
say about 15.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
damn. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I try to write, new songs every day, and sometimes I just get an idea. I sit down, write what I think, don't touch it, and then I'll come back to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Dude,
Like,
I just keep, because there's a lot of things, like, if I ever, like, try to record, and it's like, nah, not really feeling it,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
So-
I have a ton of those on my computer over here because all I have to do is plug the guitar in and
Yeah.
pick an amp and
Mhm.
and take off.
Yeah.
So I have a ton of those where like you write like one little riff or a riff and a half and then you
Yeah.
get into something and then you're like, okay, I got to come back to it and you save it and then I have like 100 of those things saved on my computer.
So
Shazam.
that instrumental one we did last night was like da 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 da
Yeah.
da da. So, dude, we've had that so long.
Yeah, we.
But we just kept playing with it because we couldn't ever get it to sound right.
Right.
So when we played it last night, I was like, dude, let's switch the chord change so there's a relief there. Fall back into it, you know?
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we usually kind of experiment with our songs, play them live, and be like, not enough energy or
Sure,
something, you know?
yeah.
Or, hey, maybe we should add backing vocals.
There's
to this chorus.
that's kind of one of the policies we have in records is a lot of times when we're doing songwriting and we're trying to figure out like what's going to make it more dynamic. One of our biggest rules is less is more. So a lot of times
Yeah.
when we're trying to write over something, we stop and think about it and we're like, well, what if we just stop right there for a minute and then
Yeah.
come back in? And a lot of times that sounds better. It's like, yeah, we took something out instead of trying to add all this extra shit, and it turned
Yeah.
out sounding a lot better.
One thing I think we've really been trying to do as of like this new year is like really build movement, momentum, and energy.
Okay.
And last night I feel like was probably the first time we ever like grabbed that and just choked the hell out of it.
I like the little slide thingy that you guys did. I got video of that.
Yeah, I
That was
know.
cool.
I know. I was telling Garrett, when we were practicing, I was like, dude, we gotta like move a little bit more.
Yeah, it was cool. I like that.
Like-
little,
Yeah,
like, this little
right?
back and forth. I was like, I gotta get some video of that. That's kind of neat, man.
Like we legitimately came up with it on like Thursday.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what kind of one of records niches is just getting on stage and moving as much as possible. Like literally just getting on stage and freaking out.
High
I-
octane.
I'd say one of the things a lot of bands don't do is they play really good, but they don't move.
They don't move. Yeah, I've
And-
noticed that also.
Shoegaze.
And if you don't, like, I just feel like if you're not having fun,
You have to-
nobody's gonna have fun. Like last night,
Bingo.
I'm just like tearing it up. I'm like sweating. Like,
Yeah, bingo,
feel like
dude.
I'm just like,
That's
gonna
exactly
pass
if you're
out.
not engaging the crowd's not going to engage you back.
dude,
Yeah.
I know. Yep.
So that's one of our biggest things. Like when we get together and practice, part of our practice routine is doing choreography. Like,
Yeah.
should we jump here? Should we do a jump here? And like, yep, that's staying. We're gonna keep that in there.
I learned a lot of that stuff from Easy Side.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
watching how they move. And I'm just
They
like,
used to
guys.
be, dude, and they've been around for so long. I remember watching them back in the day when like they were, it was like 10 years ago or something
Yeah.
like that. Man, they were, like you said, influential. Like you'd watch them
Yeah.
move and you're like, man, Brennan's all over the place.
Yeah.
And do you remember way back in the day when they had Derek doing the rapping for him? He was like the white dude, like short white dude, and he got up there and like he did like a rapping MC kind
But
of thing.
when we were at the Bayou one time, we were just like kind of jamming, and And Brendan just kind of hopped on and just started rapping.
Nice.
I was like,
That was
all
great.
right.
That was sweet.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
He's working down there now. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he is.
I forgot about
Just
that.
saw him last
Yes,
night.
sir.
Yeah, I just
He's
we
a
had
good
the
dude.
show there on the 27th, and we came in to get our gear the next day, and I forgot that he worked there. And I heard him from behind the bar. He's like, "What's up, man?" I looked over, and he's walking up. I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, what's going on, dude?"
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
He's a good dude.
Shout outs to the Easy Side boys. You guys
Yeah.
are good stuff,
Yeah.
man. Jared Campos, dude, that guy. I've known him for a long
Dude,
time.
have you seen the tattoo he did on the side of my leg?
No, I
This-
haven't.
this
He did. Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
I'll,
it's-
I'll see it
Yeah.
after this. I want to see it.
He
What
did
is
a
it?
peace sign on my calf. He's got this like kind of like this water paint lion on the
Oh,
side,
really?
and I got a peace sign on my calf.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
top of my list task for my next tat. I'm thinking.
I haven't. I haven't had any work done, but I only have one tattoo. But yeah, I've seen his work. Like,
It's just nice to get a tattoo from somebody that you can have a conversation with.
yeah, that you can actually
And
talk
I
to.
mean,
someone about.
dude, me and him could talk about like anything because
Yeah.
like we're cool and we can talk about band stuff.
Well, and he's one of those guys too. Like, he's that kind of guy. You can talk to him about anything. man.
yeah,
Like, dude, he doesn't.
yeah.
He's never, he's never like, he doesn't try and push things on anybody, or
No.
he just talks, man.
He just chills and does
Just there
his work.
to do his
and-
work and talk.
Yeah.
And it's fucking legit. Like, that's what
Yep.
you look for in
Yep.
somebody like that, for sure. But no, I've been watching his work on the internet, man, and he has been just over the last few years. Like, his stuff has gotten so good, dude.
Dude, I'm
I'm
telling you,
astonished.
people evolve like crazy.
He did this one.
Yeah.
I saw this one just the other day. He uploaded one. It's like this eagle in like it's
Yeah,
like shadowed
American
over a
flag,
graveyard and the American flag,
Yeah,
and like
yep.
there's a bunch of crosses and
Yep.
stuff. Dude, that looks so good.
Dude, it is.
Whoa, like I was like, that looks like
Dude, I can't wait until you see this one. You're gonna be impressed.
Yeah,
That
fuck
took,
yeah,
like,
dude.
3 hours.
woo, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Crazy creative.
Dude, I'm addicted to tattoos.
I want to get another one.
Man.
I definitely want to get another one. I only have one, and
Do you even have one?
Samesies.
I'm just addicted to buying electric guitars.
hey,
good
that's
addiction.
there's
You have
nothing wrong with
one,
that.
right?
Yeah, I got one on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I like shoulder
Yeah.
tats. They're cool.
Nice. Yeah, I have one on my calf, and then I want to get one on my other calf and just kind of like start doing the like working
Leg
my way
sleeve.
down, leg sleeve
Yep.
stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I like it. I like
think the
having
leg
it.
sleeve stuff is cool.
Choosing the tat is the worst part because it's so tough
Yeah.
to choose.
Yeah.
For me,
Well,
at
because
least. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, there's so many. You're like, well, I want like 6 of them, but I gotta pick one for now. And then
But I'm not like super wishy-washy. Like if I see an idea, I'm either gonna be like, yeah, it's cool, or like, no, I'm
yeah,
not doing it.
yeah,
you know?
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, man, we've been at it for over an hour, dude. Over an hour, you
Sweet.
guys have been
Hells
sitting in
yeah.
this room.
Any other controversial topics?
I have a few written down.
All right.
Okay, here's a question. Who's the most annoying member in the band and why?
it's okay if you guys say me. Just throwing it out there for comfort's sake.
See, that's the
Well, I
that's the
don't know if
controversy.
it's like the most annoying thing, but dude, when you're playing drums while we tune up, I'm just like,
Attaboy,
Garrett, stop.
attaboy, dude. That's how us drummers do it, man.
Like it's like da-da-da-da-da, and we're like, Garrett, calm down, dude. I'm trying to tune.
Or
much
like,
fun.
Just blame them for not having digital tuners. They have analog tuners. That's their fault. That's definitely their fault.
Okay.
or like last night when I showed up to the gig,
Yeah.
and basses, they're not plugged in.
Uh-huh.
They're really quiet.
Uh-huh.
And
Super
I was
quiet.
trying to stand in the back hallway
And
in that
tune?
pig place and try and tune my guitar.
Yep.
Nope, not
And
happening.
I-
Especially not when poetry's up there, man. They're loud.
Dude, you gotta
And
go in like
like-
the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like I was like 3 or 4 notches over. And I was like, well, that looks like it's over, but I think that's gonna be good. I think it'll work.
Prayers.
That was that was actually the Ford and Fossil boys came over earlier and we jammed in the garage, and Jason, I was like, hey, I need to come up with some talking points for tonight.
Yep.
And Jason was like, ask him who the most annoying member in the band is and why. I was like, dude, I gotta write that one down. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'll take the dive.
No, that's really. I mean, that's. I
It's
don't
just,
really have
dude,
anything.
it's just drummer stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
is.
kind of what
It's
I've come to learn.
straight up drummer stuff, dude. Yeah. There's a. It's kind of like we had this face down rule when I was in guitar class in junior high, where it was like when the teacher was talking, you had to put the guitar face down, because if you're holding it, your natural instinct is going to be to start dicking around, So we
Right.
always have this face down.
Yep.
Same thing with the drummer. You put him behind a kit and put sticks in his hand. Before you know it, he's going to start making little noises and doing
Right,
little
shiny.
things.
right.
It is. Yeah, it's that so shiny thing, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't keep our hands still, man. Musicians in general, dude. It's kind of how it goes. Oh, there's the parade. The cat's name is Cinnamon, by the way. You guys
Cinnamon?
didn't know that, yeah.
She's
So
adorable.
Pepper and Cinnamon.
Pepper and Cinnamon.
They're the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Respect.
yeah,
They're both very
Righteous.
sweet.
That's
Sweet.
a good question.
yeah. I was. That's why I was like, dude, I gotta write that down actually. Anyways, I'm gonna do a couple of show drops, and since this isn't gonna post until tomorrow, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say tonight. Well, I guess, yeah, it'll be tonight because I'll
Yep.
post this tomorrow morning. So tonight, there's going to be a show at the Bourgeois Pig. It's Chase Sandoval from Figures and Fiction, Ford and Fossil, and one other guy.
I can't even remember.
Old
now.
Me or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
remember.
dude. I'm sorry in advance. But that's tomorrow night at the Bourgeois Pig. At
Yes, sir.
Music's at like 6:30 or 7, something like
Yeah.
that. About the same as the one on Sunday night. And then on next Sunday, on January 12th, there is a big metal show out at the Hall of Champions. There's like 5 or 6 bands playing out there. It's on Facebook. It's under Tow Truck Mike Productions, if you guys haven't checked
Yep,
that one
yep.
out. It's going to be from Ash to Stone's first show back after their like kind of reforming of their band. They switched out drummers. Josh Wingrove's actually playing drums for him now, and yeah, Derek Vigil moved over to guitar, and so like
that's right.
yeah, so they're recording a new single, music video, that kind of stuff, and then they're going to drop all that stuff. So January 12th is their first show back at it since they've done
Wow.
that. So that'll be a really cool show. I'm
That will
definitely
be,
going to
man.
check that one
Yeah.
out. I did the typical thing where I didn't look anything up before I started the podcast, so that was really all that I knew as far as like show dates and stuff like that I had off the top of my head. I try so hard to like, okay, I gotta sit down and like look stuff up before the band gets here, so I have like some good show plugs to drop, and then
Well, I guess we can do ours. We're gonna be at Staggers January 25th.
oh, perfect,
Yep.
okay, is
Yep.
that going to be a release type deal, or is it just
Yeah,
gonna-
I mean, basically
Single release kinda thing?
Single release kind
Okay.
of thing. We'll be there. all night.
other bands playing?
No, 8.
No, just
we'll
you
be
guys.
8 p.m. to midnight.
You
Yeah.
guys gonna play 4 hours of music?
Dude, we did. We
Do you
did
guys
the
have 4
Bayou.
hours?
Well, we usually either just fill it in with covers or we just kind of.
Just take breaks and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, we usually take like 4 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do it too when we have to play
Take it
that
in.
long. I told the Bayou the last time. That's why I had 3 bands at the Bayou last time because I was talking to Brad and he's like, I want Records and Presley Avenue to play, and I was like, that's fine, but that's only like 2 hours worth of music max.
Did you split
Yeah.
bread? Split cash?
Yeah, we
Okay.
we ended up at the end of the night. We just ended up giving all the cash to the bar and drink off of a bar tab. Yeah, so we were just like, here, just keep it at the bar. We ended up having $400 in cash at the bar, and I think we ended up giving back 175 of it or something
Okay.
like that. So we just let the bartenders take it and split it and do whatever they wanted with
Dude,
it.
it'd be
Very
cool if
sweet.
we could like set a huge show up at. Where did you say that metal show is? At Hall of Champions?
The Hall of
Is that
Champions.
in
I'm pretty
the-
sure that's where it's at.
Where's
yeah.
that at?
It's out at the fairgrounds. So when you're pulling into the fairgrounds, you go through the main
The
gate.
right?
Yeah, it's those little strip buildings that are on the
Oh,
left hand side right there. It's one of those. You can't miss it. I think it's the furthest one.
Dude,
back.
we could. I mean, I don't know how close genres would be, but I mean, we could set something up. We could set a big show up.
I mean,
Be
I don't
cool.
have any problem mixing genres on shows.
I don't either.
I don't have any problems with that. Like I
I
don't
think it'd be
there-
fine. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think there needs to be any stigma for that at all. Like
For sure.
any genre, any band. I think that'd be cool, dude. Set something up with you
Yeah.
guys, and then maybe
Yeah.
like throw our boys in poetry on the bill.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
throw
Yeah.
from Ash
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Stone on the
yeah.
bill.
Yep.
Cool, dude. Well, let's
like
talk.
big
dude.
show. Like,
yeah, 5 or
yeah.
6 bands on the bill, something
Hell
like
yeah.
that, dude. And do
For Hall of Champions?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Started
it
it-
like on the 12th?
January 12th, yeah.
12th,
Yeah, that's that
cool.
one. Yep.
Wow.
And then tomorrow night or tonight, because it's going to post tomorrow, but
Yeah.
tonight, January 6th, Bourgeois Pig for Ford and Fossil. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it, dude. I mean,
Cool.
I don't
Right,
really
just-
have anything else unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. It's kind of up
Just
to you guys.
just January 25th.
Oh yeah,
Staggers.
sorry, January 25th at Staggers.
Staggers,
Yeah.
and then Bury Me release. That'll be on all platforms.
Okay.
Just check this out.
Nice.
Triangulum Peace. Give us a like on Facebook.
Same kind of time for the release on.
Yeah, it should be.
Media.
It should be
Yeah.
out that day.
Okay.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Cool.
For sure.
Well, Triangulum Peace. Keep an eye out for them. Go like them on Facebook. If you guys like what you hear, you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. Hit the little notification bell so you get notified when new ones come up. Leave me comments, man. If you guys know bands or your band wants to come on, just hit me up. Facebook, Matt Greenlee. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, dudes. See you out there.